Nearly half of the world's population are highly vulnerable to climate change. By 2100, 50 to 75% of the global population could be exposed to periods of life-threatening climate conditions. The countries of the Middle East and North Africa are already being impacted with worsening water stress and reduced agricultural productivity. The COVID-19 pandemic has increased the share of people acutely affected by food insecurity from 6% of the region's population in 2019 to 20% in 2021, and climate change is expected to worsen this trend further. Recent climate commitments by many countries from around the world are very encouraging. Some 65 countries, covering 83% of global carbon emissions, have set net zero targets for the coming decades. These commitments now have to be translated into real actions and real outcomes, though. Urgent global action, urgent global outcomes are needed to reach net zero emissions by 2050, and we need to accelerate the necessary socio-economic and technological transformations. Reaching these objectives will require implementing the right policies and building effective governance mechanisms. This is at the center of OECD action, and I take this opportunity to invite all of you, policymakers, private sector leaders, experts and civil society actors, to join in this effort. Our work on building climate and economic resilience in the transition to a net zero low-carbon economy provides a common framework for understanding and enhancing country-specific net zero transition strategies. The OECD is also working to measure, report and compare the climate action efforts pursued by countries through our International Programme on Action on Climate, IPAC. IPAC helps participating countries strengthen and better coordinate their climate action, complementing and supporting the UNFCCC and Paris Agreement monitoring frameworks. The historic joint OECD G20 process that paved the way for a landmark international tax agreement in 2021 underpins a new OECD proposal to develop an inclusive framework on carbon pricing to help facilitate a more ambitious, multilaterally agreed, globally more coherent and better coordinated approach to climate action. The net zero transition is challenging for all countries, and even more so for countries such as Gulf Cooperation Council countries that are dependent on fossil fuels for energy, income and employment. Economies that are fossil fuel exporters are likely to face some 51% reduction in oil and gas export-related government revenues to 2040, with annual per capita income from oil and gas falling by around 75% by the 2030s. These countries need to manage such risks and prepare for the transition while seizing the opportunities that renewable energy and clean technologies can offer. The strategic vision of the United Arab Emirates in this transformation is absolutely inspirational, and the OECD stands ready to deepen our engagement with you to help achieve this vision. Collective efforts at global level are more necessary than ever, which is why initiatives such as the World Government Summit are so critical. Shaping a better future for humanity is our motivation, and being part of the collective global action for climate is the condition to succeed. Thank you.